Hey, here's a new item I added to the shack here. It's a little teeny tiny spectrum analyzer called the TinySA. And I think it's going to be kind of useful. Well, it's kind of a cute little thing. About 70 bucks, I guess. Anyway, I got it hooked up here to a step attenuator. A set of HP step attenuators over here that'll allow 0 to 81 dB attenuation in 1 dB steps. And I've also got this thing hooked up to my laptop so we can look at it on a bigger screen. And using my little signal generator here just to make some experiments. Oh, and that little external attenuator down here is, I've already calibrated that into the TinySA. So even though I don't need it for this little experiment, I left it in there because I didn't want to have to change the TinySA menu. Anyway, let me show you something with my cheap little signal generator here. Hang on. Okay, so I've been using one of these DDS inexpensive HF only signal generators here in the shack for a couple of years, and as long as I use external step attenuators with it, you know, it does what I need it to do. But I noticed right off the bat that the thing puts out a heck of a large signal even with the output turned all the way down, like in excess of S9. And sure enough, the TinySA confirmed that. It's about minus 63, minus 65 dBm with supposedly no output voltages shown on the meter there. No amplitude. So I want to verify that, and I did using the TinySA. Let me show you how I did it. Okay, so I hope this comes out okay. Anyway, I've got the signal generator right now set for 12.1 megahertz. Let me change that a little bit, and we'll set it for say 2 megahertz. We'll come all the way down to the beginning here. And you might be able to see, maybe not, at the very left of the screen there's a little red marker, and it's reading, what is it reading? Oh, I gotta change this. I didn't have both attenuators set to 0. There we go. So at 2 megahertz we're at minus 66 dBm as read on the screen. Now you're going to notice a couple of things. First of all, we're almost at the end of our usable dynamic range till we get down into the noise here. Second thing is we got a pretty strong second harmonic here at 4 megahertz. It's minus 75 dBm. I don't know if all of these are harmonics. There's some internal spikes generated by the TinySA. There's a spike removal menu thing that I haven't explored too much, but anyway, the point is, at supposedly no output of the signal generator, we have a signal that's 8 dB stronger than S9. And as I go all the way up to 10 meters, it stays pretty constant. So let me do that. Okay, there's 6 megahertz. Minus 65 dBm, 7 megahertz, minus 65. We'll go up to 14 megahertz, minus 64. 21 megahertz, minus 63. 28 megahertz, minus 62.8. So you got to use an external generator, and you know you can only see down so far with the TinySA. It looks like about maybe down to about minus 80 dBm. So that would put it somewhere, I think, around an S8 signal. But even though you don't always need to see the level of the signal, you can use the signal generator and the step attenuators to get a reference level and then dial in as many dB. Take it all the way down, if you've got enough external attenuators, to minus 121 dBm, which is an S1. So anyway, I thought all that was pretty cool. And I think this TinySA is gonna work out here pretty good. For the money, 70 bucks or whatever, I think it's a handy little addition. So there you go. That's the latest from the shack here. Keep on tinkering.